Hello there, and welcome to another special episode of Mod Showcase. Now, if you're a long-time viewer of my channel, you might remember the time I took a look at the Test Drive Unlimited Ultra Community Pack version 1.04 or whatever it was. And basically, what that mod was a drastic overhaul of the game's car roster, giving you a whole new plethora of vehicles to be able to drive and basically breathe a new life into the game. Well, Milli, the author of that original mod, has been very busy over the last few years to make what was originally supposed to be the next big, great unlimited UCP mod, but eventually became so massive and with other changes that it started to breathe its own new life and is now surfaced under the form of Test Drive Unlimited Platinum. Platinum does follow very much in the same ways as the Ultra Community Pack did. It's basically new physics, so many new vehicles, correct color names even, dedicated cameras for each vehicles, HDIR compatible weather, new map textures, radio stations. It's easily moddable, the installation's easy, it even comes with an optional Russian language if you happen to be from Russia, and it has a toolkit as well. And the reason why I'm here at this menu here is, as you can tell, the little background thing for starting off the game is brand new. You get a little small taste of what to expect, basically. So, as I did before, I'm just gonna show you the vast majority of the vehicles. Now, I've already gone ahead and bought at least most of the new vehicles that are in the game, simply because that just saves a lot of time. So what I'll try to do is kind of go through all the vehicles that I have here. Now, it's gonna be a little bit out of order because how the garages work and whatnot, and where the game is putting these vehicles, because it likes to sort them, I believe, by house, and I can't sort it from here by car, but I will at least try to show those off. So, we'll take a look at some of the new vehicles, such as the Aston Martin DB11 Coupe, and yes, I'm making sure that at least the vast majority of vehicles that you're going to be seeing today are new to TDU Platinum. They cannot be found in the Ultra Community Pack. And by the way, at the time of making this video, TDU Platinum is readily now available for download at the TurboDuck.net forums. So if you want to get this mod for yourself, by all means do so, because this is, in my opinion, the single best mod for Test Drive Unlimited. Adds a whole new breath of fresh air to the game and basically gives it an all new take. As you can see, all the vehicles and stuff, Milli's intention when she was making this mod, she's trying to go more for quality over quantity. Of course, having a lot of vehicles is really, really nice, but there are so many vehicles that could have been added to the game to add even more to it, but then that would have caused a huge dip in quality because there's a lot of car mods that have been made for this game over the years, and is not really worth getting in terms of adding to the game, because the quality of them just sucks. So they're not really worth putting in. The ones that did make it, though, are ones that are more than relatively good enough, such as this very nice Alfa Romeo 4C Coupe, again, new to TDU Platinum, although the camera, I think, is a little off on this, because I think the game thinks that there's a little bit of collision going on here. That's why it looks a bit janky and such, but it's nothing too serious, personally. But a beautiful 4C, love that car. Also another Alfa Romeo I'm glad to see added to this game is the Giulia Quadrifoglio. And I apologize, the car is so close up. I think this garage just likes to put these cameras up this ridiculously close. I can't zoom it out. But yeah, you get all these really nice detailed interiors, you get these really nice quality mods. And one of the things that makes TDU Platinum even different over the Ultra Community Pack is a different emphasis on the cars put in. SUVs are now in the game, which weren't really a thing in the UCP. Now there's actually quite a few SUVs, including the all-new Lamborghini Urus. And yes, this, for those of you with keen eyes, this is in fact the production model, not the concept. You even got a Jeep. Yes, and a Kia Stinger. But even some new vehicles like a Roadster variant of the Lamborghini Aventador, the Centenario, and the Murcielago Coupe, an original from Test Drive Unlimited, is now back. It was absent from TDU-CP, but has been brought back to the game with this all-new, beautiful, high-quality model. It's basically the Murcielago. Looks so much better than what the base game would have done. Love to see this Murcielago back. I've always been a fan of the original and LP640 Murcielago, which the LP640, I believe, was from UCP, is still in the game. We also get some proper Lamborghini Gallardos. I believe UCP only had the Performante, which was a little strange, but now we got the Gallardo Coupe and the Spider, and there's even a few more Gallardos, but you're gonna have to figure out how to get those. The hint is to take it somewhere to make it better. In fact, that's actually the case for a vast majority of these vehicles. And I make a joke about it, and yes, don't worry, I will show it off for at least one of them to give you a sort of idea, to kind of give you an incentive to do so. We've, of course, also got some new Ferraris, like the beautiful 488 Pista, one of my favorite modern Ferraris. We've even got stuff like the old 96 Chevy Impala, which I personally quite enjoy. There's even a convertible Corvette, and you got an old Impala now as well. You got a Challenger RT Shaker, which this has a few variants, hint hint. There's even a Ram SRT10. Yes, you can drive what's basically a Viper in a truck body in this game. That's really cool. We even get another classic Dodge Charger added to the game, the 68 model with the full grille there and the round taillights, which I've always preferred over the 69 and 70 models. There's even now the 458 Italia, which I think there was only the Spider in the UCP if I remember correctly, and there's also now the 458 Special, and there's the standard 488 GTB, because that was also not in UCP. For the really exotic enthusiasts who don't mind spending a lot of money on a ridiculous car, personally I've never been a fan of this, but I have to show it off for the video because it is new. You can get the W Motors Lycan Hypersport. There's even some new Volvos added to the game, like the S60R, S60 T6 all-wheel drive R design, and even the XC90. So if you really want a sporty Volvo, but you need it to be like an SUV, there's your vehicle for that. I already have a bunch of garages, and like I said, I did this so I can show you the vast majority of new vehicles. I can't remember if this was in UCP or not, the 242 Turbo, one of my favorite old Volvos, but there it is in case it wasn't. This one I believe is new to the game, the MR2 GT, for those of you who love the MR2 like I do. Would have been nice to see the AW11 also added into the game, but the SW20 is admittedly my favorite, so I'm not too bothered by that. It's really nice to see this MR2 added to the game. We've even got the classic Volkswagen 1200K for basically the original Beetle, and I know there's quite a few people who do have a fond spot for the original Beetle, so if you're one of those people and you like to play this game with this vehicle, here it is. And there's even a Touareg, because why not? It kind of screams Test Drive Unlimited 2 vibes with this vehicle and some of the other SUVs, but again, I'm all appreciative of it. There's even a couple new Mitsubishis, like the Eclipse GSX. And yes, there are quite a few things you can do to this vehicle too. There's even some new Maseratis, like the beautiful new Quattroporte Grand Sport. There's a plethora of new McLarens, such as the 12C, the NC MX-5 Miata. There was only the NA in the UCP. The NA is still around, but the NC has been added. Would have been nice to see the ND, or even the NB, but still, I'll take it nonetheless. And we've even got some more McLarens, like the 570S, the 650S, and the 720S. Another SUV in the Mercedes ML63, and even the G55 has been added to the game, as well as the really nice AMG GT. Some new Fiats as well, basically the 500 Abarth. We've even got another Ferrari, which I don't think was in the UCP, but it is here, this particular one, the 599 GTB Fiorano. We've even got the F12 TDF. I believe only the F12 Berlinetta was originally in TDU, but now we've got the TDF as well, and again, one of my favorite modern Ferraris, the gorgeous 812 Super Fast. I love the look of this thing. Absolutely beautiful, and is a very, very, very nice quality mod for a 2006 game. We've even got a California T, which I don't think was in TDU CP, if I remember correctly. And there's the other Fiat, the 595 Abarth, the classic little thing. There's even some new prize vehicles, too, that replaces some of the existing ones, such as the Jaguar CX-75 Concept. Really, really nice. Even the McLaren Senna is a prize car in this game. Yes, the Senna is in this game. So, like I said, a whole new plethora of McLarens in the game. There's even a Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, which is just one of the coolest looking classic vehicles because it was so well ahead of its time in terms of design, and basically might be familiar to some people who play Grand Theft Auto 5 and knows about the Z-Type. The Aston Martin Vulcan is even in this game too, another prize vehicle. So basically, if you want to really go fast in an Aston Martin, you can do that. Many of the vehicles, if you've seen TDUCP, are still around. There are a few that are gone, but nothing too much of particular note personally. There's the Pagani Huayra. This was a car I particularly mentioned would have loved to see added to the TDU Platinum, and here it is. The Huayra is now in the game, so now we're definitely up to date with the Paganis, including another one, hint hint. We've even got another Mitsubishi Eclipse, the GTS. There's even the GTO twin turbo, which I've always loved the GTO, so it's really nice to see this guy in the game. And there's even a new Noble in the M600. Basically the current Noble that's been around for a little while, but is still a batshit insane vehicle. I believe Noble's actually working on a more user-friendly one called the M500, I think. So Noble is still around, thankfully. So we got some more Maseratis. We got another Quattroporte. This is the older one, the GTS, but still really, really welcome to see. We've even got another classic Ferrari in the 365 GTB4 Daytona. Oh, this thing still is a beauty. Even for some Brit fans, there's a Ford Escort. The original RS 1600 has been added into this game. I know one particular person who I've known for quite a few years who will probably be very, very ecstatic to see the old Escort. There's even another classic rallies-inspired car in the Lancia Rally 037 Stradale. Oh, that's still a beauty to look at. A couple more SUVs, including a couple Range Rovers now. Yep, there are some Range Rovers indeed. This kind of makes it feel more like Forza Horizon now that I think about it. There's even one of my old favorite Lexuses brought into the game, the IS300. And we get a new Lotus in the more recent Exige S. I think this is one of the only new Lotuses added into the game, but it's still very welcome to see. We even get a Maserati Ghibli, which is really cool to see. And even the Levante. This vehicle was only recently added to Forza Horizon 4, and it's available as a mod here in Test Drive Unlimited. It's crazy, but it's really cool at the same time. There's even a plethora of new Porsches, such as the new Panamera, the 4S. We've even got the 911 Carrera S and Targa 4S, GT3, a whole bunch of new 991 models. No 992, I think because it's too recent. And again, there are a couple of these. You can change them up to get something different. Hint, hint. So even a 911R and a Turbo S. And this is one that's interesting. I believe the 997 GT3 RS was in the game before, but there was not a GT3 like the regular one. Now there is. Where did the GT3 RS go? Again, hint, hint. There's even the old 911 Turbo 993. This one's a bit, I guess, more of a nitpick, and this is not really Milli's fault. I don't think she had anything to do with this. Whoever modded the Turbo, why is the front bumper more akin to like what's seen on the GT2? Or like even the Carrera. Like this is not the front bumper I'm used to seeing with the Turbo. It's very strange. I don't know. But again, that's really just a nitpick. And yes, for you Bugatti fans, it doesn't just end at the Type 57. We've also now got, of course, the Chiron. Because why wouldn't there be? If we already had the Veyron in the UCP, and vehicle models for the Chiron were now readily available by the time of TD Platinum, why not put the Chiron in? And that's, I guess that must have been Milli's mindset, and there it is. We even get an M6 that wasn't in UCP, the E63 M6, a V10 BMW added to the game. There's even the X5M and the Escalade. Yep, it's not even just the regular Escalade, it's like the ESV, so it's like the long wheelbase one, like the stretched out one. But we've got an E34 BMW M5, another one that I believe was not in UCP, but is now in Platinum. Beautiful BMW. We've even got an Alpine added to the game. There was the A110, I believe, from before, but now we also have the GTA Le Mans. I question why they've never added this to Horizon 4. When they added it as a DLC vehicle in Horizon 3, and it's not in Horizon 4, that drives me nuts. Here's another new Aston Martin, the all-new Vantage Coupe, for those of you who are into the Aston Martin. I've had mixed opinions of people according to the Vantage in their mind because it's not quite a classic design, but I don't mind it. This, I think, is a little too stretched out, but otherwise I personally still quite like it. We've even got a V10 Audi R8. This apparently wasn't in the game before. I think it was the 4.2 previously, but now we have the 5.2. There's even now the newer V10 Quattro Plus, basically the second generation R8 as well. The new S5. I don't even think this vehicle's been out that long, and it's already in the game. There's also a RS6 here and a Q7, because why not? And a crossover here with the Bentley Bentayga. And a BMW that wasn't in USCP, I believe, as well, the M4. I'll show off another Jeep, the Grand Cherokee SRT8. Yes, there's even another Jeep in this, hint, hint. There's also the Ford Raptor, so there's another truck for you truck fans. I don't remember if this Mustang was already in the game or not. I don't think so. I think it was just a 65 coupe, but we now got a fastback Mustang as well. There's also a Transit. Yes, a Ford Transit is in this game. Beautiful. And this is an interesting one. If you remember Test Drive Unlimited in any way, you might remember the Faribaud. I think it was the Faribaud GTS or something. In TDU 2, they did keep the Faribaud, but it was rebadged as the Jetta F400 because in real life, Jetta had bought out Faribaud, I believe, and decided to inherit the vehicle. Now, this wasn't done in TDU-CP, but what I really appreciate with TDU Platinum is Milli has gone and basically replaced it with the updated Jetta F400 variant. So, same vehicle, still a TDU classic, but it's basically been replaced with the more higher quality and more fitting for modern times Jetta F400. Really neat little touch there. We got some more Hondas like the CRZ, this particular Civic SI Coupe, the really popular Underground 2 model, is still in the game, I believe. There's even the brand new Honda NSX, which I actually quite like. This vehicle has really grown on me over the last couple of years. I used to be kind of sour on it because I felt it deviated too far away, but honestly, as a vehicle on its own, this new NSX has really grown on me. In fact, speaking of NSX, here is the cover vehicle, the Type S0. Oh, beautiful car still. And another beautiful car right beside it, the Jaguar F-Type R. Ah, love that thing. A few more prize vehicles here. The Ferrari 250 Testarossa. Oh, this thing is a beauty. Classic and a beauty. I don't even remember the Chrysler ME412 was originally in TDU-CP. I think it might have been taken out at some point. I can't remember. But it is still here, and it is a prize vehicle. So it's one of the few remaining vanilla vehicles still in the game. And another classic beauty Alfa Romeo, the Giulia TZ2. Love that thing. As you might see, there's actually some electric vehicles now. We got the Tesla Roadster Sport, and I think it's over here, the Tesla Model SP85D. This game never had an electric vehicle before in the base game. Now it has two of them. We've got another SUV in the Porsche Cayenne Turbo. We've got a couple Rolls Royces added to the game with the Wraith and the Dawn. We've got a returning vehicle from the vanilla game. The Saturn Sky, I believe, was replaced by one of the Miatas in TDU-CP, but has been brought back to TDU Platinum, which is nice because I actually quite like the Saturn Sky. It's a very underappreciated vehicle. Really, it's just an Opel GT, but still. And this Impreza, I believe, wasn't in TDU-CP before, this particular one, the hatchback one, the GR, but it is here now, along with all the other Imprezas, with the exception of, I think, the latest Impreza, or the one that's just known as the WRX STI, which, unless it's from a hidden thing, I'm surprised it's not in the game. If TD Platinum gets updated, that would be one of my vehicles I would like to see, is the newer WRX STI, as well as some of the other C7 Corvettes, like the Z06 and the ZR1. If at all possible, that is. If there is a good mod for those, bear in mind. There's also I say A because I think this is the only new bike added to the game, the Suzuki GSX-R 1000. Last house here. There's a couple more vehicles in the P. We got another Porsche in the 718 Cayman S. There's even another Cayman to be found. Hint, hint. There's even a new Peugeot here, the 308 GTI. I believe this replaces the 206, which is slightly disappointing because I do like the 206, but you know, if you're going to keep it more up to date, I would imagine, you know, the 308 GTI probably would make sense. And one of my favorite Pontiacs, the Firebird WS6 Trans Am. Basically, as I also like to call it, the Ram Air, because that's what it was also known as. I love this last generation Firebird design. Just a really nice take on that existing platform. Just really neat to me, personally. The GTO, I believe, was originally from Test Drive Unlimited, the base game. It's back. It's been touched up a bit, so it looks a bit better. And there's even the G8, one of the last great Pontiacs before they shut down, sadly. Again, it's really just a Holden, but still. There's even a Pontiac Solstice. Because why not? Now, why have I been saying hint, hint the whole time for a lot of these vehicles? Well, I'm not going to go into doing it with all the vehicles that I have here, because this video would go on way too long if I did. This video's already been a lot of me kind of blabbering on about a huge portion of the new vehicles that are in the TDU Platinum. In fact, this isn't even all of them. There's still a few more out there that I haven't had because I haven't been able to get my hands on them, or also I haven't even discovered, because many of them are hidden. And I believe Milli has been doing that on purpose because she kind of wants people to, find out what lies beneath this game. But I'm going to bring the Chiron out. I particularly chose this vehicle here because, it's one of the vehicles that really, I think, shows off what I'm talking about very well. You can see some of the changes to the weather, like the lighting and the effects and stuff. It's not too radically different, but it does give it a kind of a new look on the game. And the physics might be difficult to tell with some of these modded vehicles, but there are some tweaks and stuff. And again, it still feels very much like Test Drive Unlimited. It's not foreign or anything. It's still a really nice look at. So let's go and show you. And I don't know why Bugatti's in British Specialist, because Bugatti's French, but whatever. Now, what's the thing I've been teasing about? Well, this is one of the many vehicles that can do this. If we go into here, we can choose an upgrade to get the Chiron Sport. This is a ridiculously new variant of the car. The Chiron Sport hasn't even been out that long, and it's already got a model that could be used in the game. But if you think that's crazy, yeah. If we really wanted to, and I'm going to for the sake of this video, we can turn this into a Bugatti Divo. Yes, a Divo. Basically, the hardcore, more track-oriented Bugatti. The one that basically gives it what Bugatti cars have generally lacked for the longest time, more sharp handling. Oops, my bad. Sure, they're fine. But yeah, we have basically now gone from a Chiron to a Divo. In a 2006 video game where the Chiron Sport and the Divo haven't even been out for very long. That's just how crazy this modding community is, and it's really nice to see these vehicles added to the game because it gives the game a new life. It has an all-new take on this old classic game here. It's just really cool to see. So let's just wrap things up here. That is going to be it for this video. If you want to check out this mod, and I highly recommend you do so if you happen to be a fan of Test Drive Unlimited, you can download it over at the TurboDuck.net forums. Give Milli all the appreciation because this is a excellent mod. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content similar to this one. You can also come check me out over on Twitter and Twitch, support the channel on Patreon, or join the public Discord. It's all down below in the description. I will catch all of you on the next one.